Greetings, brethren, and welcome back to the How to Get Better at Chess series, where I, the Chess Crusader, will help you get better at chess by showing you how to find and make good moves in a chess game. Sometimes while you're playing through a chess game, you get stuck, you don't know what to do. I'll show you how to find and make good moves, how to find and make good plans, tactics, ideas, openings, those sorts of things. Today we're going to be playing against Coach David here, a 1200 rated bot on chess.com. He's also a coach, so he'll give us some additional feedback right down here below. So yeah, we'll get into a game against him. We will be white. Yeah, so depending on your level of skill, you might play an opening. Today we're not going to play an opening. I'm just going to show you how to make good moves. So what's a good move? Well, put one of these two pawns in the center. We'll put this one here. Okay. Yeah, he says, I'll play a standard move to start. Yeah, absolutely. Standard stuff in chess. So something we can do, well, we can attack this pawn, bring out this knight. Importantly, we want to bring out our knights and bishops. Okay, Philidor, apparently, this is okay. You don't need to know this theory. All you need to know is, hey, how am I going to make good moves? Well, something you can do, probably bring out your other knight. Like I said, we got to bring out our knights, bring out our bishops, two pawns in the center if we can. Can we do that? Yeah, we can here, but then we get a trade of these knights here, and then, we don't gain too much there. So we got these knights out. We can bring out a pawn. Maybe we want to put this pawn here, but not really. Maybe we want to put this pawn here to support the center, but then we'd block out our bishop. So let's try to get this bishop out first, and then maybe we can play a move like this, and then we can bring out our other bishop somewhere. Okay, time to get my bishop into the action. Yeah, that totally makes sense. We're going to bring out our pawn now. I like how aggressive you are, but don't go too crazy with the pawns in the opening. Trust me, this is not aggressive. This is just standard stuff. We're going to go back. We're going to look at the game review after this. This is all just, it should be perfectly even right now. Just playing a nice standard game. Well, we have the option to castle now. We have the option to bring our bishop out. We don't need to do anything too aggressive. Like, we don't need to bring out this knight here or anything like that so far. Because there's nothing really too crazy here. An idea you might have, okay, put the knight here, because maybe you want to trade for the bishop. Bishops are generally better than knights by a little bit. They're both worth 3 points, but in endgames, bishops are better because they can move further distances. So you might be like, okay, put the knight here to threaten this bishop, but he might trade. And then I can put my bishop here, and then, oh, maybe we can get this rook in the corner, but it's kind of stopped if he just brings this here. Or maybe you get him to develop his knight for free. So those aren't really good moves. Not really a good idea to play chess in the form of, well, if my idea works, then it's good. Because what if they just counter your idea, right? So try to find moves that are just kind of solid. It depends on what your rating is, but yeah. Anyway, developing pieces. Let's get our bishop out. You're good at getting your army, or sorry, you're getting more of your army into the game. Can you make your king safer by castling? Yeah, absolutely. Something you might want to do sometimes, like we can get our queen out of the way and castle this way, and then just send all of our pawns to attack over here. Because if we both castle the same side, then we can't send our pawns forward to attack each other. Something to keep in mind, but for here, we'll just castle. We don't have to do anything too difficult. This is a nice standard game. Your king castled too, good idea. Yeah. He wasn't really under threat though, so we didn't need to. No need to rush that. It was more of a waiting move, but yeah. So what do we want to do here? Well, we probably want to make some progress somewhere near the center because all of our pieces out. So now, how are we going to use them? Well, these two rooks, they're kind of looking at pawns that aren't doing anything. So maybe we want to bring our rook open to an open file here. That sounds like a pretty good idea. Our opponent brought this pawn forward. What is he going to do with it? Well, he might try to bring this forward. In which case, if we trade, he gets back, then we got to retreat our bishop, but that's still not the end of the world. So let's get our rook on the open file. If you keep playing, you'll start to see patterns and themes in your own chess games. Yeah, I would agree so. The more you play, the better it is. Yeah, so he brings this pawn forward. Maybe he wants to get his rook out. That's kind of strange, so probably not. We don't need to worry about this too much right now. You might want to counter with this right away. It depends on what you want to do. Yeah, so this rook is fine here in case something happens. So maybe we want to rip open the center. We want to get something going. This is a very slow game. Not too much happening right now. Everything's nice and closed. We haven't even traded any pieces yet. So I'm calculating this. Here, takes, and then we have something going on. We have a better center than him because our rook is already on the file. So we can take this right here. Smart move, attacking my pawn chain. Let's see what my knight can do. Not too much from there, honestly. Yeah, not too much at all, really. Quite strange, actually. This immediately just loses a pawn as well because he ignored our threat. If we take here, he takes back, and we take back with this knight, and there you go. Right, we just are up a pawn, so that's good. Probably something we want to do. Something else we could do is, well, we can bring our pawn here to prevent this knight from moving forward, because this knight can move here, here, and here. Can't move there because of the pawn, but if we're going to take, then he can. Anyways, that's a little too complicated, but right now we can just think, hey, a counting exercise. If I take this, he takes back, I take here, and there we go. We're up a pawn. So we will do that right here. You saw it, that square was under defended, and you took advantage. Yeah, you capture back, that's fine. Go here. Now we have some threats. Moves his king over for no reason whatsoever. I'm not entirely sure why he did that, but that's okay. I'm going to show you a tactic here. We could trade for this right now. Just trade, and then maybe he'll go here. Or take back with the queen, and then I can take with my queen, but then he can take back here. That's totally fine. But one way we can actually kind of overload this piece so that it can't be defended anymore is if we take this knight first. Because if we take this knight, it can't defend this bishop anymore. So think about this scenario. We take, he takes back, and then we take with our knight. He can't take back with the queen anymore because then we would just win it. So that is a good idea. So we're going to go here. I see what you're up to, I think. Yeah, I think so too. So we'll go here. You simplified the position. Let's see how well you evaluated. Is my bishop threatening anything? Yeah, absolutely. This rook. So we'll take back. This is a bit of an in-between move. That's fine. He can do that. But see now how we're just up a knight. We're up a pawn and a knight now, just because we moved the knight back. It might be a little tricky to get the knight out of here because there's not really a safe way to get it out of there. And of course, it looks like he's attacking my bishop right now. You're doing great. Keep going. Something we don't want to do is bring our bishop back here because then he can trap it like this. So we have to put our bishop somewhere. And we can't put it here because then we lose protection of this knight. So unfortunately, we have to bring our bishop all the way back over here or to this square, one of these two. We'll go here. You've played strong moves so far. I'm impressed. I'm moving my rook to a safer square. Okay, so he's going for this right here. What is he attacking? This pawn. It's not defended because this rook used to defend it, but the bishop is covering it now. So we can go here. This is a nicer square for us, so we'll go here really quick. We want to get our knight out of there. That's our plan. Okay, I've connected my rooks. Yeah, he has, in fact, connected his rooks. So that's good. I want to get my knight out of here because this is my advantage. So how can I do that? Well, I can go here. But then after that, he can't. There's not really any squares available for him to go to. So I might have to try and defend in other ways. And what can I do? Well, I can go here to try and get him here. But then if he brings his rook over to attack the knight, then it's kind of pinned to my queen, and that's not good. So this knight is actually not super great right here. I can't even bring a pawn forward to defend it on this square. That would be ideal. So, yeah, what do we have to do? Well, we might have to just push this pawn and attack this square. There's not a lot. I'm definitely still winning, which is great because I'm up 4 points. But yeah, this knight is not very good here. Not very good at all. If I go here, I don't lose the pawn immediately because takes and takes. But if he threatens my knight somehow, that's not good. Another way I can defend this knight is from far away. Like if I bring this pawn forward, I can put my bishop here to defend it. Because it's kind of just hanging out right now. That knight's not very good. So I think that's what I'll do. Because this pawn is adequately defended right now. So we'll go here. Sometimes it's hard to think of, and you don't have a lot of time to figure things out sometimes. So, yeah, that's the plan. Is going to be here. To defend. Nice, looks like your bishop. Okay. So he wants to physically remove my defense of this knight by just completely sacrificing the rook. That's fine. You may have an opportunity here. Do you see it? Yes, I do. The opportunity is just taking the rook for free, so I will do that. That's a no-brainer. Take it. Could have been more careful with my rook. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so what do we want to do now? Well, now we can get our knight out. Because if we can go here, then we can go back here. So I will probably do that. The queens see each other if he wants to trade them. Yeah, that's fine. This is not a bother at all because now I have 2 rooks. He only has a rook and a knight. So I'm up a full rook, basically, and a couple pawns. I think we should find some instructive things to review. Sorry, to talk about during our game review. I agree. So in a game like this, it's kind of chaos. Not too much protected, not much going on. His rook and knight are kind of just locked out of the game here. I might as well just take my free pawn, and that's fine. Solve your free pawn, good. Yeah. Time to get the rook into the action, that's good. We could go back and defend, but then he could just push his pawn, so that's not great. Well, here I guess we can take this pawn. But something you want to do, especially in like end games like this, this is still kind of a middle game, but getting your rooks onto the files are really good, because I can defend my knight and attack this pawn at the same time. So that's another idea I can talk about, or I can even just push this right here. That's not bad. We'll go here. Because now this knight defends this, and if we want to go back there, we can. Yeah, he brings his king forward. Not too much going on. Rooks on the 7th rank are a really good idea if I can get both of these rooks back here. So maybe I will try to get this rook here, and then bring this one up somewhere over here and try to attack the king. That's the plan. He can stop that in a couple different ways, but not very easily. Maybe right now, though, I will go here to attack this pawn, trying to pressure him to push it forward. Okay. Yeah, I like seeing you create threats. Keep it up. So he's using this knight to defend this, which is, it's all right. But now what if I add an extra piece to attack it over here? He's just going to give it up. That's totally fine. So yeah, we'll take it. I wanted him to push this pawn so I could take back and then get rid of my doubled pawns, but that's fine. We will go here. He takes back. That's not good. You don't want to exchange pieces when you're losing. Don't want to exchange pieces while you lose. Okay. So yeah, my opponent will just push this pawn because he's, scared probably. So if I bring my rook here, he might push it or something like that. But if I put my rook right here, there's no way for his rook to come back and defend the pawn, so I'm just going to win it. My pawn must press on? Yeah, probably. Classic rook and pawn endgame, except it's looking kind of rough for my boy over here. Yeah, he's trying to get his rook onto the back line. That's his only real counterplay, but I can stop that by putting my rook here, and which is defended by this pawn. Okay, and wants to go after this pawn. We defend it and protect this one. Now, a really good idea might be to, well, his king was going for this pawn, which was defended by this rook. He hasn't moved in a long time. We could bring our pawn over here to defend it, but we don't need to because the king moved away. And when you have passed pawns like these, best ideas are to put rooks behind them and promote. So we have a couple rooks, so we might as well use an extra one here. Well, I guess we can push the pawn first. It doesn't really matter, because if he goes to defend it, we can just go here. Okay, he goes there. I could push the pawn, but then he would go here, and that would not be great for me. So if I just go immediately right here, should be totally fine. King goes over. Yeah, we're not going to worry about this pawn right now. Obviously, we want to keep on to it in a perfect world. Like, I could have gone here while he was up there, and then here to defend again, but not really a need to, because we're going to go make a queen. Okay, brings his pawn forward. That's fine. We're going to go back here. Indeed, he doesn't want the pawn going much further. Well, bad news, because it's gone further. And he's going to go there. We'll make a queen. Take it. Now he's got no counterplay left. He's got only pawns. So, lots and lots and lots and lots of different ways to win this. Like, you could make a queen, and I could make 5 queens, and go and win this game. But, yeah, I guess let's go collect pawns, just to keep things nice and simple. You don't need to do this, and it might even be difficult to do, especially if you have, especially if it's like a blitz game and you're running low on time. You might want to try to find a checkmate, but here, we'll keep it nice and simple. We will, yeah, these rooks protect each other, so we'll go here. We'll go here to force the king to go somewhere else, and we will use this rook to cover all of these squares. So the king can't go anywhere. And now we can just ladder mate. Well, we'll take this last pawn. You always want to make sure that the king can move, but with 2 rooks, he's always going to be able to. Easiest way to do a ladder mate with 2 rooks is to keep them on opposite sides or just run them away from the king. So we'll bring this rook all the way over here. Okay, he approaches. We'll go over here. Why not? Okay, he goes up there. We take away more squares, and there we go. So now we have a checkmate on Coach David. 1200 rated bot. That went pretty well, I would say. Let's take a look at the game review. I guess I got to switch over to my game review section here. And of course, I forgot to do that. Just give me 1 second. And there we go. Okay, so we played with a 93% accuracy against Coach David here. I guess a lot of that could be attributed to a bunch of moves at the end where it was just really obvious what to do, but maybe not. It looks pretty smooth up there, so that's good. Played like a 2000 rated player. See how easy it is to play a good game? You just make sure, hey, do my moves make sense? Did I find a good game plan? So that's a good idea. Good idea to do. So like he played like a 1650. Played good opening accuracy, good middle aim. Yeah, no blunders from either side. We just slowly, methodically won that game. We got a great move. We'll go over it. See, we didn't know any theory, but we still managed to play 4 moves of theory by just saying, hey, what are good moves? So these are moves that people have found that are good in the past, right? So, game review time. Yeah, we put our pawn forward. They put theirs. We attack with the knight. They defend this way. We bring out our other knight. They bring out their knight. We bring out our bishop. And yeah, so we actually played 4 moves of theory just by saying, hey, what are some good moves to play? And there you go. They branch from the theory by playing this move here because there's better things to do. Apparently, it's already like a 1.4 mistake, which is kind of crazy. Why is this? Oh, I guess. Oh, I see. Okay, so lots of stuff happening here, but basically just the threat is this battery here, and he doesn't have a really good way to stop it. Because if he goes here to defend, we just take back, and if he takes, we get this pawn here, and we fork both of these. So we're up a pawn, basically. So yeah, I didn't see that off the rip. That's okay. We played nice and solid, and we continued to play a nice game. Yeah, it says we missed it because, you know. All right. Yeah, brought out our bishop. Great move. Castling. Fantastic. Rook to the open file, pushing down the middle. Yeah, see, here, it thought, hey, best idea is to play this move down the middle. And he brought this knight here, which allowed us to find, hey, they're down a defender on that pawn. And that's good. He moved his king over here. That's probably just the 1200 in him coming out. Yeah, take this here so we can get our extra piece. He wants to trade. Yeah, just had to go back and defend the knight here. Sacrifices his rook for no reason whatsoever. We get out of there with the knight. He trades. Free pawn. And yeah, now just saying, hey, putting pressure on things, making him defend. He doesn't defend properly. We take an extra pawn. Now we're up a rook in a 2-rook endgame and a bunch of pawns. Got the rook behind the pawn so we can take it. Blocked. Made sure that the rook can't get back here. Because if the rook can get onto this, then he can attack this, and it might get a little dirty. But by physically putting the rook in the way, now he can't get back there. He wants to attack the other pawn. Well, we'll bring our rook there to defend it. And then we're just going to pass this pawn. He didn't do this very well. He probably should have put his rook just back here, but then we could have just put this pawn here and then put this rook back here, trapping the rook, forcing him to take something or something so we can make a queen. But yeah. And then after this, yeah, just taking all the pawns. Doing a nice ladder checkmate on the back here. I guess it thought I had a checkmate, a mate in 2 here. What could have I done? I don't even know what I could have done here. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess I didn't see that. Because it was discovered? Was it discovered? Here. Yeah, just here, and then he's forced to go to none of these squares, and then, wow, I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh, he can move back here, and he can take my rook. Yeah. A way to get it every time is just separating your rooks, and there you go. If the king would have gotten close enough to this side, you can just send that rook all the way over to the other side, like here, and you'll be good to go. There you go. So that is how to get better at chess number 14. Hope you learned something. Hope you come back. Please like and subscribe. We just passed 420 subscribers. I'd like to get to 500 pretty time soon. I would enjoy that. Join the Knight Army. I'd appreciate that very much. The Chess Crusader Army. All right. See you guys in the next one. Godspeed, brethren.